Hello everyone, I'm Dave Ace, and welcome back to another Crash Team Rumble video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Crash Team Rumble mid-season patch notes that was just released by Toys for Bob, and these will be going live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time today. So, moving on with features, we have Ripperoo being added tomorrow for all players. You will be able to unlock him by earning 50 blocker badges. And then you earn blocker badges by knocking Wumpo away. Pretty simple. And now I believe he is also I can't remember if that's how many badges you needed for entropy or if he's more badges than entropy now. So that's pretty interesting. You don't have to do anything gradually specific like collecting marbles like we did for his early access event. So that's pretty cool. All right, now moving on to the general things. Signing out and signing back in during the intro cutscene will no longer leave players on a black screen until the title closes. Okay, I think I've seen some people with that issue, so good to know that that's been fixed. An infrequent crash on startup has been resolved. Sweet. An infrequent issue that resulted in players becoming stuck in a black screen when the last person to ready up is now resolved. I think I've ran into that issue a few times. Players no longer need to accept friend requests twice before that friend populates the friends tab. All right, awesome. It looks like they're making some changes to social tabs, so that's good. Players can now progress through and participate in practice mode after selecting a power. Okay, I didn't know that was an issue. When a party host backs out of a competitive lobby, the rest of the party will now appropriately follow that party host out of the lobby. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. This is something that was so annoying and so just infuriating that we would have to leave the lobby and then re-invite literally everyone else. That is such a fantastic change. I love you guys for making that change. Thank you so much. Several issues were resolved, which allowed there to be a team of 5 players on it. I've ran into that issue a couple times. It's actually pretty funny. Translation coverage has been improved across the game in all launch languages. Sick. Players will no longer encounter a title close after repeatedly entering and exiting the hero progression challenges or ability menus. All right. Accepting an invite into a party or lobby in a variety of situations will now appropriately move player to the correct party or lobby. Awesome. More changes to the social tab. Audio now consistently plays when in the main menu. I didn't know that was an issue. That's interesting. Stability around the completion of private matches have been improved. Awesome. Teams will appropriately be notified if their party leader leaves the party. Great. That's awesome. If a player unlocks 2 heroes in a single match, the announcer will correctly say both of their unlock announcements. I do remember having an issue where I would unlock a character and it just didn't announce anything, so that's good. Bots will no longer use slam attacks while carrying Wumpa and banking. All right. Well, if you ever come across a blocking Coco, blame destination mark. That's what I want to say. Just blame destination mark. All right, moving on to maps. The enemy spawn barrier is now less susceptible to players using abilities to bypass the barrier collision. All right, cool. I think there was an issue with, I believe maybe Entropy had an issue where her tether could go through the spawn barrier, which was interesting. Tar Valley, the potential for network instability after the Aku Aku Epic Relic Station effect expires has been resolved. The potential for network instability after the Aku Aku Epic Relic Station effect expires has been resolved. They posted the same thing twice. I just realized that that's there twice. I guess they're just really hammering it in. That has been fixed. The level 3 Aku Aku power no longer damages friendly slow shrooms. I didn't even know they damaged those. Interesting. Calamity Canyon. The force fields can no longer be passed through by enemy players. That was an issue. Oxide's UFO model is no longer invisible if opposing players are looking away when it activates. Awesome. Bogged down. A rare crash while on the loading screen has been resolved. It's interesting that you would put a fix for Bogged Down here when we haven't even played Bogged Down yet. Unless Bogged Down is already in the game and I'm missing out on it for some reason. Rusted Refinery. Enemy bots are now affected by Sandstorm. Okay, they didn't get affected by Sandstorm before. That's a big issue. I'm glad that you fixed that. All right, moving on to heroes. All right, this is where the buffs and the nerfs come into play. So, Dingodile, Catbat, Ripperoo, Entropy, and Embryo will no longer be able to infinitely spam their jump ability without touching the ground. Okay, alright. Heroes will now recover instantly from crashes or Coco's slam ability. All right, no more blocker Coco, no more blocker Crash. Take that, Mark. All right, so on to Embryo. An infrequent crash surrounding use of Embryo during a competitive match has been resolved. Great. Slimes can no longer be used to attack enemies in their own spawn area. That was a thing. Slimes will now stay on banks or gyms they are spawned on. Slimes no longer occasionally spawn at the center of the map when a thrown flask hits an enemy. I've never seen that happen. Embryo will no longer become stuck if he transforms while standing right next to a gym. Interactions between the transformation power while using bounce crates have been improved. Okay, cool. Coco. The final reward box will no longer be checked before the player finishes the final requirements for earned score badges by scoring Wumpa Challenge. Okay. Playing as Coco no longer has a chance of causing her to appear extremely distorted. I think that's happened quite a few times in the Battle Pass, so that's very interesting. Very glad they fixed that. Tana. The location for the hook shot effect will now more closely indicate the direction the hero will travel. Okay, that's greatly noted. Dingo Dial. The tail whip attack no longer appears to be moving slower when using skins, and Dingo Dial no longer stutters during his hover animation when viewed by other players. Cool. All right, no, don't do the Stin trophy. The staff will no longer revert to the default option after completing a match. I never had that happen. The Harley Quinn's Shake staff is no longer displaying distorted textures. The Mastery Badge will now be easier to acquire. Players need to deny Wumpa without getting knocked out instead of getting hit. Thank you! Thank you so much! That... Fake Crash is gonna be so upset by that because he just got that badge. That's funny. Okay, cool. Thank you for making that. Oh, that's so great. Alright, so in powers, in private and practice matches, using a power with more than one charge will no longer reset progress towards the next charge. The beam from a teammate's healing fridge will no longer consistently show up for more teammates being healed. Power Drain's collision has been improved so it no longer blocks use of a relic station it may be placed on. Awesome. When powers with multiple charges are completely full, the colors on the power icon is no longer muted. Okay, cool. Events. Using the Zapper and Zap Trap will now appropriately track KOs and grant the multi-KO badge to players that get multiple KOs in a row. It's interesting that you're doing Zap Trap fixes when we no longer have access to that mode anymore, so that's cool. Zap Trap no longer displays the team total as 1 out of 8 and now appropriately shows 1 out of 4. The issue that caused players playing Zap Trap to occasionally be put into a standard competitive match has been resolved. Event collectibles no longer appear in the map after the player has collected the maximum number of items to complete that event. I think that might be related to the Ripperoo thing, which could potentially mean that going forward, if we ever get a character that we have to collect items for, once it maxes out the items, you know, it'll no longer spawn in those items anymore. So I'm hoping that for future events that they take those that feedback that CGE and I both stated in that live stream, where it feels like it should be more open about how the character events will play, and going and banking off of what CGE said, the character that you're unlocking should be the first reward that you get. But those are everything that's been changed for the mid-season patches of Crash Team Rumble. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments down below. Which one are you more thankful for? I think I'm more thankful for Coco no longer being able to spam the body slam, so that's great. And be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up with more Crash Team Rumble content and just whatnot from me. Also, I just launched my Crash Bandicoot inspired podcast. Whoa! So if you want to go watch episode 1, that's out on the channel right now. Be sure to follow that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.